Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Gawa. Welcome back to yet another Magic the Gathering video. Today in this video, we're back with yet another deck tech. Today we're going to be looking at a card that I don't really understand how passed the inspection, but High Perfect Morcant. Um, so, basically, this is a Elf Ball Tribal. She is a Golgari commander. She is 2 generic, 1 black, 1 green for a 4/4. And she is whenever High Perfect Morcant or another elf you control enters, each opponent blights 1. So, with you guys are familiar with the new blight mechanic, I think it's new from Lorwyn. I could be wrong. I'm not a complete, you know it all when it comes to Magic the Gathering, so bear with me. But it's basically you put a -1/-1 counter on a creature they control. So, whenever an elf enters or she enters, they choose a creature and they put -1/-1 counter on it. Broke, I know. And then you tap 3 untapped elves you control to proliferate, activate only as a sorcery. Insane. But yeah, guys, before I start this video of this deck, I want to say if you're new around here, be sure to drop a like and a sub, and to check out the Discord link in the bio down below. We're always up to no good over there. And yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy the video. But yeah, all right. So to start off here, we have 2 Planeswalkers. We have Freyalise, which she's going to allow you to create a green elf druid creature token with her +2. Her -2 is destroy target artifact or enchantment, and her -6 is draw a card for each green creature you control. It's kind of insane when you think about it because we run 40 creatures, but a lot of times, if I'm not mistaken, with elves in this game, you are able to basically they come in as green like creature tokens, so I think they do count towards your count for being able to draw cards. And then other than that, we have Tyvar Kell. So he's going to give your elves to be able to tap for black, which is awesome. And his +1 is put a +1/+1 counter on an elf and untap it. So, one of your mana dorks, you can just put a +1 up on Tyvar, untap that elf, add more green mana if it comes down to it. Add another warrior creature token for a 0 cost, which is awesome. And then you get an emblem with whenever you cast an elf spell, it gains haste until end of turn, and you draw 2 cards. So overall, it's just a big W when it comes down to Tyvar. Some of the creatures we rock here are the Abomination of Lamwar. He's going to get power and toughness equal to the number of elves you control plus the number of elves in your graveyard. Always fun. Next, we have an Alzora Shepherd. So green spells you control can't be countered. And until end of turn, you can turn your elves into 5/5 power and toughness, and it becomes a dinosaur in addition to his other types. So that's also fun. Next, we have Beast Whisper. So whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. Fun. We have a lot of creatures in this deck. We have Canopy Technician, or Tactician. Uh, Tactician, yeah. Tactician. She's going to allow you to boost your elves and tap her for 3 green. Circle of the Dreams Druid, Elvish Archdruid, and am I missing one? Merowyn, and I think that's all of them. I think Merowyn, Circle of Dreams Druid, Elvish Archdruid. They're all going to allow you to tap for green mana for each elf you control or her power. But Circle of Dreams Druid is going to allow you to basically tap it for each creature you control, which is awesome. Crater Hoof's your finisher, so it's going to get +X/+X and give everything +X/+X with trample until end of turn for X as number of creatures you control. Uh, Di Dionys, I think that's how you say her name. I really do enjoy Dionys. I think it's a she. But whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, untap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. This ability triggers only once per turn. So that's for every elf you control. So you can tap your Circle of Dreams Druid for like 25 mana and then just automatically untap, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Fantastic. We have Dywin, who is just another booster, and whenever she attacks, it gives you gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. We have Eldarami. I
Today, Junior?
don't know why I have like a weird accent on that. Eldarami Corvidel? I don't know how you say that, but you can cast creature spells on top of your library, and you tap 2 untap creatures you control, reveal a card from your hand, or at the top of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, you put it on the battlefield. So that's just overall nuts. So Eldrami, Lord of the Leaves, he's a more expensive one, but basically he's going to give your elves Forest Walk, so it can't be blocked if they control any sort of forest, and elves cannot be target spells or abilities. That's the big one there. Elves Deep Shadow, mana dork for black mana. Elvish Champion gives things +1/+1 and Forest Walk again, just like Eldrami. I can't even say it. Eldamri.
Today, Junior!
Eldrami? I don't even know. Elvish Hardbringer, when it comes in, you're going to be able to search your library for an elf card, reveal it, put it in your hand. It's also a mana dork. We know Elvish Mystic. Elvish War Master is going to allow, when it enters, you create a 1/1 green warrior creature token. And that's whenever an elf comes into your control. It only triggers once a turn. Essence Warden, health gain. Evolution Sage is a proliferate, so you can proliferate them nasty -1/-1 counters. Azuri, elf creature control with +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn if you pay 5 mana, or you can regenerate another target elf. This is a new card, Formidable Speaker. Whenever this creature enters, you may discard a card. If you do, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. And then you can untap another target permanent for 1 and tap him. So, you can untap your Circle of Dreams, etc. Finhorn is another mana dork. Galadriel Brigade, it has squad 1, so you basically can pay the squad as cost as many times as you want, and it'll make that many copies. So then other elves you control get +1/+1. So if you have like 10 copies, you're going to give all your elves +9/+9 because it's other elves. So crazy. Generous Patron, whenever you put 1 or more counters on a creature you don't control, draw a card. So those can count as negative counters, etc., etc. So Glissa, whenever Glissa deals combat damage to a player, choose 1, draw a card, you lose 1 life, destroy target enchantment, remove 3 counters from target permanent. So Glissa's just overall dope. Apatra is just basically what the High Perfect Morcant does, but whenever you put 1 or more -1/- counters on a creature, create a 1/1 green snake creature token with Death Touch. So you're gonna be making like a lot of snakes just to have them as bodies. Paris Perfect, another booster, and you can tap to make a green elf warrior creature token. Jorga, it's the same thing almost as like Galadriel Brigade, but you're just gonna kick it, and it'll get that many +1/+1 counters for the amount of times you've kicked it. Lathril, deals combat damage to a player. You may create that many elf warrior creature tokens, and then you tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 life, and you gain 10 life. It's not that hard to do in this deck. Leaf Crown, again, another booster, but whenever you cast an elf spell, you pay 1, you can draw a card. Lamwar, another dork. We have Hunt Master, whenever you cast an elf spell, you make a green elf warrior creature token. We already went over Merowyn. Masker Girl, so it gives your creatures Wither, so they deal combat damage and -1/-1 counters. Insane. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card. Perfect. Necroskitter, whenever a creature an opponent controls with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, you may return that card to the battlefield in control. Just imagine taking out Eldrazi's. That's all I gotta say. Or something crazy like that, and putting it under your control. Obviously, Spider, really put this in here because it does work, but whenever Leak deals combat damage to a player, put a -1/-1, so you don't worry about that, but it's whenever you put 1 or more -1/- counters on a creature, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. You're going to get given a lot of -1/-1 counters on. Priest of Titania, or Titania, there you go. She's a tap to add green for each elf. That's the one I forgot. Reclamation Stage, destroy target artifact or enchantment when he comes in. Typhar, the Bellicose. Whenever 1 or more elves you control attack, they gain Death Touch until end of turn, and each creature you control has whenever a mana ability this creature resolves, put a number +1/+1 counter as equal to the amount of mana this creature produced. This ability triggers only once each turn. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that's like if you tap Circle of Dreams Druid for like 30, you put 30 +1/+1 counters on it. I think that's how that's worded. I could be wrong. Next we have Well-Wish. Well-Wisher, you gain 1 life for each elf in play. Not bad, just a little typical, just boost your stuff up, and it's a very cheap elf. And then Wolverine the Rider. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Whenever another elf enters a battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. Beautiful. So that's all the creatures. Next we have our sorceries. So we have Cultivate, just some ramp. Demonic Tutor, Elvish Promenade. So you're going to create 1/1 elf warrior creature tokens for each elf you have in play. I use Insanguinate in this deck because I feel like it's a finisher, because you're going to have so much mana, man. Like, you can tap one of your creatures for 30 plus mana, and just be able to dump it in Insanguinate. I think like it's just nuts. Next we have Kindred Dominance. Choose a creature type, destroy all. So just choose elves, destroy everything else. Nature lore, go find your your overgrown tomb, etc. We have Petrie's Bidding, but Petrie's Bidding is actually getting replaced by Bloodline Bidding just because it's you know it's way more mana, but like um, at least that way your opponents don't get to search for a thing, but you can convoke it, which makes it even better. So you can like, cast it for 2. We have Assassin's Trophy and Beast Within for board removal. Elvish Ambush, create a 1/1 green wolf or warrior creature token for each elf you control. Galadriel Ambush is going to be a prevent all damage, but create X 1/1 green warrior creature tokens where X is the number of attack creatures. Kindred Summons, we're just going to basically flip off the top until we reveal top X creatures where X is the amount of creatures we control. So, if we control 20 elves, then we flip, maybe the rest of our 20 elves off top. Vampiric Tutor. For our artifacts, we have Signet, Greaves, Skullclamp, Soul Ring, Staff of Dom. Staff of Dom goes infinite with pretty much a bag of chips, but it goes infinite with all of our producers in this game, like mana producers, so it's broke. Uh, Here we go with enchantments. We have Blowfly Infestation, Crumbling Ashes, Elderfang Venom, Elvish Guidance, Flourishing Defenses, which goes infinite with just our commander alone. Because you put a -1/-1 counter on something, you make an elf, the elf comes in, you put a -1/-1 counter on it, makes another blah blah blah. Guardian Project and Nest of Scarabs. Nest of Scarabs and Blowfly Infestation is a infinite mana, or is a infinite combo. I think Hapatra and I think Blowfly are also an infinite. Because yeah, make insects with that, you make snakes with the other. But yeah, these are all just negatives, and then gives attacking elves Death Touch, and then Enchanted Land is tap for mana. Its controller adds green to his mana pool for each elf in play, which that's just nuts. And then Guardian Project. The lands we rock in this deck are Boseiju, Cavern of Souls, naming elves, uncounterable elves, City of Brass, Command Tower, Death Cap, Glade, Avendo, Waking Haven. It's just a it's really just a what's the word? Guy's Cradle, but just cheaper. Exotic Orchard, Overgrown Tomb, Necroloom Snarl, Mana Confluence, Lamar Wastes, Karen Bastion for a nice little proliferate boost. Glit, Gilt Leaf Palace. We run 5 forests, 4 swamps, Reliquary Tower, Tainted Wood, 3 Tree City, Underground Mortuary, Undergrowth Stadium, Verdant Catacombs, Vernal Fen, Wastewood Verge, Wirewood Lodge to be able to untap target elf, and Woodland Cemetery. A lot of green black because obviously that's what we run. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. I mean, I do call her the Queen of Rot for a reason. She is one of the craziest, if not the best commanders that is coming out of Lorwyn, in my honest opinion. If you guys did want to see a more updated video on the Lorwyn commanders, there's only like 15 or 16 because obviously it's a standard set, but they did drop an okay amount just to, you know, be able to use. But yeah, if you guys did want to see more in-depth video, or if you guys have any suggestions on commanders you'd like to see me make, then be sure to drop a like in the comments down below. Drop a like, geez, drop a comment in the comment section down below. But yeah, guys, remember, I love y'all so much, and thank you guys for watching. And remember, if it ain't Gawa Gang, it's no gang. I love y'all. Stay safe, stay blessed, and peace.